What is the most annoying fan base? The kind that is not heavy or wide enough and it keeps tipping over. Ron Levans. Somehow simultaneously the most misleading yet accurate subreddit ever created. Politicians' fan base. This shouldn't even be a thing. For real, politics should have the same sterility as math. Instead you got people killing themselves, and their families, over memes. Those people who romanticize Harley Quinn and the Joker's relationship. Nobody hates Star Wars as much as Star Wars fans. If you haven't seen it, there is a documentary called George Lucas vs. the World that is great. They are interviewing some guy outside of a Phantom Menace showing and he says something like, "This movie is awful and I've seen it 6 times. Edit, as others have pointed out, it is called The People vs. George Lucas. Wasn't that comic book guy in The Simpsons? Worst episode ever. I will only see it 3 more times. Today. Serial killer fans. I have an interest in true crime, and serial killers fascinate me because I'm very interested in their motives and what happened that made them the way they are. But to actively call yourself a fan of someone like Bundy or Dahmer, as though you somehow admire them and what they did, that's just gross. I can only assume most of the people saying that are kids trying to sound edgy. It's one thing to sit down and ask, how does your brain work, tell me, now, I'm curious, and then wanting to bone them. I don't like people. Me either. It's disgusting to see people fawn over the worst of humanity, feeding into their egos. If I had a nickel for every person that said Ted Bundy was a sexy MF, I'd have enough to hop a Greyhound and get the hell away. Especially considering he wasn't at all sexy. He wasn't even particularly good looking. These people delude themselves. You know, I think a big part of that handsome killer stereotype is just the fact that people subconsciously expect them to look like monsters. Imagine hearing Bundy's crimes described with no photos or anything. You'd picture Jason Voorhees, some hulking deformed slasher. Then you see him and he's just a guy. Which seems disarming to many. It's part of the reason so many Nazis were able to just blend back into society after World War II. It makes them scarier, really. Any fan base that puts whatever they are fans of so high up on a pedestal that it can do no wrong and everyone who disagrees is their sworn enemy. In other words, groups within just about every fan base that exists. K-pop fans who take things a bit too far. I had friends who'd have fights over who is worthy to be called the wife of one of the K-pop idols. No, they weren't joking. I love K-pop, among many other genres, but it involved meeting a few toxic people. A now former friend and her sister literally would get pissed if you liked their favorite because that idol is theirs. That's such a nasty thought process. The first person back in like 2010 to introduce me to it was so attached to one specific idol that I wasn't allowed to bias them because again, that idol was hers. So I just said a different one was my bias, and I did honestly adore the dude. His violin and dancing was next level. Also, so many of them use Stan so willingly. I wonder how many know where that originated from. Eminem, was the one that really got it going while rapping about this rabbit-obsessed fan who eventually ended up committing murder in Eminem's name and blamed him because he never got attention from his idol. Stan is not a positive title. Edit, holy shit, that's a lot. As it was mentioned in replies, the song Stan is fictional, it's Eminem warning his fans. Yep, that sounds very similar to my experience. E.g., I had a friend who would post photos of her fave idol and as a caption she'd write about how he's her husband, how much he means to her and how much she loves him. Then the comments would be split between 2 sides. One side would comment on, "You guys go so well together, it's a perfect match." The second side would start arguments, "What do you mean? No, I've known him first, I know XYZ about him, he's my man, etc." Same thing when I'd attend K-pop events. On the other hand, the more normal fans are the people who enjoyed the music and the effort behind them. Some of them learned the dance choreography from songs and would perform them during events, others would sing, and it was generally just having fun with the fan base, not necessarily obsessing over a specific idol. What the actual FCK? Her husband? I have second-hand embarrassment. Shit is wild. As a Taylor Swift fan of 15+ years who knows every word to every song, damn, her fans can be awful. The TikTok videos analyzing every move she makes. You don't deserve tickets to her next concert if you can't quote every word of her 2-hour documentary. The people who are convinced she's bisexual and think her current 6-year relationship with a man is fake. Holy shit. I just listen to her music and actively avoid the rest of the fan base. Ada, just to clear up some questions I keep getting, there are some fans who literally get into arguments online about whether or not she's bi based on some of her song lyrics, etc., and others who think her current boyfriend is a cover-up to hide that she's not 100% straight. I didn't mean to imply that she can't date a guy if she's bisexual. Just that both of those types of fans are obnoxious. There's a guy that I used to know who was a die-hard fan of hers. He tags her in every post that he makes whether it is related to her or not. He thinks a song is about him because he harasses her all the time. He thinks a girl from his high school faked her death and became a Taylor Swift double. Edit, I just want people to know who have mental illness to please seek out help. Keep up your regimen and medications if they are needed. As someone who suffers from anxiety and depression, I know how it feels to crawl out from the darkness into getting help. Edit, taking some info out about him for my own safety. I'd Giphy as Reddit, but it is safer this way. Sounds like schizophrenia to me. I found out later that he is bipolar, but he has been arrested for stalking. I have nothing against God. But most of his fanatic fanbase are assholes. Edit, I just want to add that within the group of people I hang out with, there are several people who do believe in God, and one came very close to losing his newborn son. He kept praying and I was able to have an open-hearted conversation with him about that. As to why he prayed and what exactly he prayed for. And I absolutely loved how religion could comfort him. That's definitely a part of religion I like. Edit 2, thanks for the awards. Edit 3, you guys can keep reporting my post to Reddit and get me spammed with suicide stuff, I really don't care. Crypto brothers are so ducking annoying at least I don't see them around nowadays. The worst are the ones that have just a superficial knowledge of tech finance and just rattle off buzzwords they learned watching some random shill's YouTube video. Bro, you gotta get into Dirty Dixoin. It's totally gonna be the next Bitcoin killer in every way. Emo Bitcoin's gas fees are just way too high, man, and the tech is so outdated. Like, I might as well just use Western Union to send fiat or some shit, it's that bad lol. But DDC though, it's like totally decentralized. And no gas fees. DeFi is the future, bro. You really think the banks are gonna last forever? DDC is gonna become the new global currency and nobody even knows it yet. It's not even on any of the mainstream exchanges yet and its only trading pair is with Stankpussy Coin on this one exchange in Zanzibar, but it's totally legit. It'll be on Coinbase any day now and then it'll really moon. I'm talking 1000x gains, bro. And even better is that it just did a 78.6% fib retracement, so now is the perfect time to buy the dip. Anyway, can I borrow $5? No fair, you can't just post the Crypto Bro manifesto as if it were your own creation. Gotcha Life fans. Elon Musk's fan base. My current boss is a massive Mush fanboy. To the point where it's really ducking annoying everything we do he tries to compare to what Musk would do. His approach to the company is what would Musk do? And this is so bad that I'm searching for a new job. Shit is annoying and actually makes the workspace very toxic. To the point where in the last 2 years 7 people quit. For a small company this is really bad. What would Musk do? I wonder if he asks himself that when he wants to start a family or a new relationship. BTS Army. I'm a big BTS fan myself, but I ducking hate that fandom. I love most of their songs, but you can't even criticize them with pure logical explanations cause their fans will bombard you with hate replies on Twitter. Lamau. Andrew Tate fans. I had an argument with one on Instagram a few days ago and he kept getting so personal talking shit on my Instagram page like he knew me lol. Ended up messaging me on a throwaway account that I would die that day and nobody would remember me. That escalated quickly. Arguing on IG is truly a fool's errand. Obviously. Sonic fans are always a gamble. They can be so goddamn wholesome and nice, but then you got the ducking weirdos. I don't mean the kids who make fan characters. I personally don't know why they are hated. I find it to be wholesome seeing kids make art based to their interests. I'm talking about the people who rage over any criticism towards the games, comics, developers, etc. Sonic's arms aren't blue. Sonic Boom has entered the chat. Did someone call?